Brucey helped me out with this. Bruce helped me out with this. Bruce Stockler, and I appreciate him. He's really a hip guy, man. He's an advertising agent, But I called the station. I asked them, for the station, the station chief, what was it? I think it was the station chief. Yeah, the something like that. But anyway, I want to get into poetry. I don't know how I look, but I look pretty well. I'm feeling all right, and I want to get into poetry, see if I can read it. I have some new stuff, and I can't see you, but you can see me, so I'm going to stay here and read to you, if you don't mind. I don't mind. I don't know how this will come out, but recent documents. I'm picking up this part about it, how to pick up the documents. Scratching myself, itching myself. Got an itch, got a back itch. Here I try again. See what we can do. I'm live. Come on. I'm streaming. Everybody must get stoned. Recent documents. I'm going to turn it off in a second if this doesn't work out. This is going nowhere. Nowhere fast. Come on, B.A. Write me a love letter. Owned by me letter. I don't know what this thing is, man. I don't know. Owned by me. This is called Toilet Seat in the Street. See if I can read it. See if the print's big enough. If I can read it, I'll stay where I am so you can see me. Toilet seat in the street. A toilet seat without any seat that I sit on in the middle of the street. Supermarkets have no food to eat. Empty minds that don't walk on feet. Cigarette without matches. Pants that have no patches. Some things that wind catches. A glancing stare. The stare that doesn't dare to glare. Waiting in the sunshine's line. Plum without a pit. A screw that doesn't fit. Something which is it. Something which is it. Something that isn't there. That there is. Damn this thing, man. If they buy me a new computer, I don't want to complain. I'll have to buy myself a new computer. Something that isn't there. That is a mathematical whiz. A screw that doesn't fit, something which is it, something that isn't there that is a mathematical whiz. Leaves without any trees, honeybees migrate to honey seas, deep freezes on May Day, a realization in silk, carnation instant milk, magic flowers hours, water tower full of air, helium balloon circles the moon, eating a music tune with a knife and spoon, loon at noon to the loons, sand dunes in the Hamptons, a sitar that plays for them that are, the drunks at the bar that up not up to par, a shooting star that doesn't get far. Everybody's writing, nobody's reading, selling, not buying. Birds are flying for a living. Who doesn't stop giving? Why don't they stop giving? A person I'm not willing to be, selling nothing for free. Get stuck in an orange sea, near a purple tree, under the ocean sunlit dune. Never too soon, trapped in a golden silver spoon. Flowers bloom, liggity doom. Moons are flying around in my room, causing gloom as I sleep in my tomb. I'll try it again. And toilet seat in the street. A toilet without any seat that I sit on in the middle of the street. Supermarkets have no food to eat. Empty minds that don't walk on feet. Cigarette without matches. Pants that have no patches. Something the wind catches. A glancing stare. the stare that doesn't dare to glare, waiting in the sunshine's line. Plumb without a pit, a screw that doesn't fit, something which is it, something that isn't there, there that is, a mathematical whiz. Leaves without any trees, honeybees migrate to honey seas, deep freeze on a May day. A realization in silk, carnation instant milk, magic flowers hours. Water tower full of air, helium balloons circle the moon, eating a music tune with a knife and spoon. Lunch at noon, noon to the loons, sand dunes in the Hamptons. A star that plays for them that are, the drunks at the bar, not up to par. A shooting star that doesn't get far, everybody's writing, nobody's reading, selling and not buying. Birds are flying for a living, why don't they stop giving? A person I'm not willing to be, selling nothing for free. Get stuck in an orange sea near a purple tree. Under the ocean sunlit dune, never too soon. Trapped in a golden spoon, flowers bloom in the idiot's doom. Moons are flying around in my room, causing gloom as I sleep in my tomb. John Billett. Let me try it once more. See whichever one you like best. If you do like anything. Toilet seat in the street. A toilet seat without any seat. A toilet without any seat that I sit on in the middle of, let me start again. Toilet seat in the street. A toilet seat that I sit on without any a toilet seat that I sit on without a toilet in the street. A toilet seat a toilet seat in the street. A toilet without any seat that I sit on in the middle of the street. Supermarkets have no food to eat. Empty minds that don't walk on feet. Cigarettes without matches. Pants that have no patches. Something the wind catches. A glancing stare, the stare that doesn't dare to glare, waiting in the sunshine's line. Plumb without a pit, a screw that doesn't fit. Something which is there, which it is, something that isn't there. That there that is. Take the second one. That's the best one. I'm gonna go a little bit slower, man. I think I recited it to KPFA in California. I'm not scared to say it now, because a lot of my stuff disappears. I know where it goes, but it's in the computer somewhere. It must be somewhere. Somebody could get it out. I don't know who could get it out, but whoever can get it out, you're welcome to try. Toilet seat in the street. A toilet seat without any seat that I sit on in the middle of the street. Supermarkets have no food to eat. Empty minds that don't walk on feet. Cigarette without matches. Pants that have no patches. Something the wind catches. A glancing stare, the stare that doesn't dare to glare, waiting in the sunshine's line. Plumb without a pit, a screw that doesn't fit. Something that isn't there, that is, a mathematical whiz. Leaves without any trees, honeybees migrate to honey seas. Deep freeze on a May days, realization in silk, carnation instant milk. Magic flowers hours, water towers full of air, helium balloons circle the moon. Eating a magic spoon with a knife and spoon. Eating a magic tune with a knife and spoon. Sometimes I can't even read my own writing. I can't. Eating a magic tune with a knife and spoon. Imagine eating a magic tune with a knife and spoon. Helium balloons circle the moon. You can see helium balloons circling the moon. Water towers full of air. Water towers that are full of air, oxygen. Water towers full of water, not air, but water. Not water, but air. A realization in silk, carnation instant milk. Like breast milk, realization in silk, white silk, magic flowers hours. Leaves without any trees, honeybees migrate to honey seas, deep freeze on May days. Leaves without any trees, leaves that have no trees. Honeybees that migrate to honey seas. You can see these honeybees migrating to honey seas, like the video of the butterflies tunes. Deep freeze on a May day. The opera, the classical music. What's the name of that? Oh man. Butterfly Serenade. I don't know. A glancing stare that doesn't dare to glare. That was what I meant to say. That when you stare at somebody, they don't like it. The stare that doesn't dare to glare. You don't dare to glare. I don't dare to glare. Waiting in sunshine's line. Those who let me stare at them. Waiting in sunshine's line. I'm waiting in sunshine's line in a line of people. waiting for them to stare at me, waiting for them to look at me back, and give me a nice smile, I always love a smile. Give me a smile if I stare at you. I'm not trying to hassle you, man. I'm not trying to get queer with you or anything. I'm just trying to, just looking at you. I'm just admiring you. Guys don't like it, but sometimes I just stare at them, because I'm just curious about them, or I'm just I'm just looking at them just to see where they're coming from, just to look at them. Not that I'm attracted to them, but sounds kind of queer, but I'm just wondering what they're thinking, what they're about, where they're coming from. Who are you, man? What's your deal? What's with you? I'd like to talk to you. Pants that have no patches, something the wind catches. Pants that don't have any patches, something the wind catches. Cigarettes without matches, cigarettes without matches, and pants that have no patches, something the wind catches. These are some things that the wind catches. Two things: cigarettes without matches and pants that have no patches. Some things the wind catches. You know, as my sister would say, these are things that I sing about. These are things that how does it go, man? These are the things that I. How's it go, man? Jeez. A few of the things. These are a few of the things that I see. These are a few of the things. How's it go, man? Jeez. These are a few of my favorite things. These are a few of my favorite things. Cigarette without matches, pants that have no patches, something the wind catches. Some things the wind catches. These are a few of my favorite things. I don't know how the song goes, but you know the rest. These are a few of my favorite things. Toilet seats in the street, a toilet without any seat that I sit on in the middle of the street, supermarkets that have no food to eat, empty minds that don't walk out and feed. You can rhyme anything, man. You can think about any tune, part of a tune, part of a scene that you look at, put it together in a poem, cigarettes without matches, pants that have no patches, some things the wind catches. These are a few of the things that I sing about. These are a few things that I don't know how it goes. You fill it in. I talk without any sheets that I sit on in the middle of the street. My mother was like that. She used to do puzzles, intricate puzzles. She used to put them on the table, and she did rugs too, man. She did upholstery. She did fantastic upholstery. So when they say she wasn't an artist, they're full of garbage, man. I won't say what they did, but what they did was disgusting. They, I mean, she tried to paint, to put her upholstery to artwork. Her artwork was good enough. Her upholstery was good enough to be artwork. It was in the '60s, when I revolted, and the dog, put brown spots on the rug, but ruined the rug. But she didn't care, She thought it was decorative, She used to have us put our hands on the wall, and decorate the walls with our handprints, Like I thought about, tush prints, and I sent them to the psychiatrist, and put them in an ink blotter and did tush prints. I did a poem about the sitting down in the concrete, with my rear end, in the Chinese gum theater instead of handprints, my rear end, and toilet in the street, a toilet without any seat that I sit on in the middle of the street, supermarkets that have no food to eat, empty minds that don't walk on feet, cigarette without matches, pants that have no patches, some things the wind catches, a glancing stare that stares doesn't dare to glare, waiting in sunshine's line, plum without a pit. Can imagine a plum without a pit. Plum that has no pit. I don't know if plums are pitless or not. I don't think they are. I think they are. Plum without a pit. I think they are pit. Aren't they pitless? Plums? I forgot, man. I'm so senile that I forgot. Plum without a pit. That was just done for effect. A screw that doesn't fit. A screw that doesn't fit in. Screw that doesn't fit into the wood, into the hole. Some things which is it. That's sexual too. something which is it, something that isn't there, somewhere that isn't there, someplace that isn't there, somewhere that isn't there, something which is it, something which is something, somewhere that isn't there, a place that isn't there, that there that is, there the place that there is a mathematical whiz, a genius of a guy who thought about that poem, how it rhymed. Leaves without any trees. That's not me. That's somebody other poet who wrote that. I think this stuff is crap. I'm headed for much better stuff. And I can't recite for crap. I can't recite. When you read it, you can read it better than I can recite it. That's why I like people reciting my poetry, because I can't read it. And I'd like to have like a show where people would come on and recite my poetry. She wants me to do it in an eye shot, in an eye, in an eye, and an eye. What do they call that? Getting like Max, man. I can't think. I'm 64 years old. I've been through psychotropics and phenothiazines since I was 21. I'm 64 now. That's 40 years. So my mind's a little messed up. Something that isn't there that is, a place that is, a mathematical whiz. A genius, an Einstein. A mathematical whiz. Plums without a pit, a screw that doesn't fit, something which is it, somewhere that isn't there that is, a mathematical whiz. Leaves without any trees, honeybees migrate to honey seas, deep freeze on a May day. Can you imagine a deep freeze on a May day? A realization silk, carnation instant milk, magic flowers hours. Water towers full of air, helium balloons circle the moon, eating a music tune without a knife and spoon, lunch at night, noon to the loons, sand dunes in the Hamptons. I thought about sand dunes in the Hamptons when I was with my stepmother and father. In the sand dunes in the Hamptons that I used to go to, when I was a kid. They protected me and brought me to the Hamptons, and I loved it out there. And they put us in the Hamptons. It was it was near East Hampton. It wasn't that luxurious. I've been there in 40 years, but it was what was the name of that place, man? In between East Hampton and Amagansett, not Amagansett, man. East Hampton. It wasn't East Hampton proper. It was somewhere out of East Hampton. I forgot the name of the town, man. But noons to the loons, lunch at night, eating a music tune with a knife and spoon, helium balloons circle the moon, water towers full of air. A star that plays from them that are there, a star that plays for them that are, and there was a star who plays for them who exist. The drunks at the bar, not up to par. A drunk at a bar who's not feeling too well. A shooting star that doesn't get far. There's a shooting star that doesn't get far. Like a shooting star that doesn't get far. The drunk at the bar who's not up to par. The drunks at the bar who's not up to par. You know how we've shaped Durham, man. Everybody's writing, nobody's reading, selling and not buying. Everybody must get stoned. Everybody must not get stoned. Sometimes they look a little ridiculous when they're drunk. See these drunk drivers, man, crashing into each other. I don't drive anymore. My aunt thought I was drunk, when I was driving up there. Let me come back, okay? Hold on. I'll be back. I bought something for you, Tidy Bowl. Uh, Birds are flying for a living. Why don't they stop giving? A person I'm willing to be. like the guys that do with the words, selling nothing for free. Got stuck in an orange sea, near a purple tree, under the ocean's sunlit dune. Never too soon, trapped in a golden spoon. Flowers bloom in the idiot's doom. Moons are flying around in my room, causing gloom as I sleep in my tomb. Maybe you ought to try that whole thing. One last try. Get up there. Come on, come on. See, the cursor doesn't move slowly. I have to move with my fingers. That's what the guy told me. That's what my man Devin told me. Toilet seat in the street. A toilet without any seat that I sit on in the middle of the street. Supermarkets that have no food to eat. Empty minds that don't walk on feet. Cigarettes without matches. Pants that have no patches. Something's the wind catches. A glancing stare. A stare that doesn't dare to glare. Waiting in the sunshine's line. Plum without a pit. A screw that doesn't fit. Something which is it. Somewhere that isn't there. There that is. A mathematical whiz. Leaves without any trees. Honeybees migrate to honey seas. Deep freeze on a May day. The honeybees may be migrating to honey seas on deep freeze on a May day. A realization is silk. Carnation instant milk. Magic flowers ours. A magic flower is ours. A magic flower, a beautiful flower, a magic flower, make believe flower is ours. Time moves like a flower. It goes by and it's like a magic flower is ours. And a realization in silk, that might be the magic flower is ours. Carnation instant milk. That's carnation instant milk was a type of evaporated milk. Carnation evaporated instant milk, I should say. Realization in silk, carnation evaporated instant milk. Magic flower is ours. That doesn't rhyme as much. Water towers full of air. Helium balloons circle the moon. Water towers full of air. I went over that. Helium balloons full circle the moon. Helium balloons, like full of helium circling the moon. Eating a music tune with a knife and spoon. Lunch at noon. Eating a music tune with a knife and spoon. A music tune. Eating a music tune with a knife and spoon. Like one of Mick Jagger's song with a knife and spoon. Tasty music is. How it hits the taste buds. I learned about it in hypnosis. Music could hit your taste buds. Eating music tune with a knife and spoon. With a knife and spoon, I taste my food. My music. And my food is music. And that's poetic. But food is music. It's lunch at night. Lunch at nighttime. Eating lunch at night. I do often do that. I prefer to eat breakfast breakfast in the night, or dinner in the morning, or lunch at 2 o'clock in the morning, or lunch at night, or brunch at night, or breakfast at night. That would be better. Breakfast at night, noon to the loons, sand dunes in the Hamptons. A star the place for them that are. A star the place for them that are. Like Ravi Shankar or George Harrison played a sitar, for them that are, for the people who exist, people who are alive to hear it, or people who can hear it, or people who are wealthy enough to hear it. Drunks at the bar not up to par. The drunks at the bar who aren't up to par, not feeling well, getting sick, or just not feeling well, have a drinking problem, or drunk, just drunk. They're happy, they're drunk, not up to par. I see people on the streets who are not up to par. I'm not up to par sometimes. Nobody is, so drunks at the bar not up to par. Drunks at the bar not up to par. At the bar, that's who the place I hang out at the bar. My bar right here in my house, in my apartment. The shooting star that doesn't get far. The drunk who's a shooting star doesn't get far. Everybody's writing, nobody's reading. Everybody's selling, nobody's buying. Selling and not buying. Selling and not buying. That's what I meant. Everybody's writing, nobody's reading. Everybody's writing stuff, but nobody's reading. On the internet, everybody's trying to get, exposure, and everybody's trying to read something or sell something or do something. It's like our country. We're a capitalistic country, which is good. It's great. It's not like our economy is based on money. And finance and selling things and buying things. If you can sell something, if it means something to somebody, then it's worth something. That's what worth is. It's not goods and it's not marketing. It's something that's worth something. It's worth that are worth something. It's this. It's this. It's this thing. It's this thing, man. This. It's worth something. It can be spoken about. It can be described. It cooks something. It has a function. It's a function of life. There's a function of life. My function is to sell. Is to sell my writing. Everybody's writing. Nobody's reading. Everybody's selling everything. But nobody's buying it. That's the problem with our country. Nobody's buying anything from our country. Everybody's selling it. They're selling foreign goods. We're going to go through another revolution. And I'm scared about it. I get very nervous about that. I don't believe in any of this garbage. I believe we've got to have trade partners. And to isolate ourselves, it's crazy. We've got to have trade partners. To alienate our friends is crazy. Selling and not buying. That's what they're doing. They're selling and they're not buying. They're selling garbage. They're selling nothing, and they're not buying. They're not buying, and they're buying everything. They're doing just the opposite. Selling and not buying. That's what you got to do. You got to sell and not buy. If you want to be successful. If you want to be unsuccessful, then you buy and not sell. You don't sell anything. You don't sell any goods, but you buy everything. Don't get angry about it, man. Do something about it. Make something. Do something in the USA. Do something in the USA. They told me they were going to send me knives, from the USA. I got cheated. It was cheap stuff. Some of these goods in the USA are fantastic stuff. We used to have fantastic stuff. We still can. We still do. We still do, man. We still have stuff that's made in the USA. This is made in the USA. Music is made in the USA. We still have good music. We still have good movies. We still have good everything. Bollywood, Schmollywood. Our movies are better. The Chinese are learning something from our movies, our culture. Birds are flying for a living. The birds are flying for a living. That's how they make their living. They fly. Why don't they stop giving? They're flying for a living. Why don't they stop giving? Nobody's reading, selling, and not buying. Why don't they stop giving? Why don't they stop selling and start buying? And not buying. Everybody's selling and not buying. Nobody's buying. So why don't they stop giving? A person I'm not willing to be, selling nothing for free. I'm selling nothing for free. That's ridiculous. But I sell nothing for free. Like Luftmensch, is a businessman who sells little trinkets of toys or little words or Yiddish stuff, and Luftmensch, when they were in Europe, and they were like the Fiddler on the Roof, he was selling music and poetry and art, selling nothing for free. He was just doing it for free for nothing. They actors act for money, but they act for the love of the act. Selling nothing for free. Free is money. Free is money in that sense. People enjoy making dishes and enjoy doing their work. Enjoy reading and acting and singing and kissing and loving and speaking. This business about work being a chore, it shouldn't be a chore. Your vocation should be a vacation. You should enjoy what you're doing. Granted, it's hard work, but if I enjoy doing it, I'll stay up all night and do it. I'll read this poem over and over again. Get stuck in an orange tree near a purple tree. An orange tree near a purple tree. The trees aren't purple, but under the ocean sunlit dune. Under the ocean sunlit dune. Never too soon, trapped in a golden spoon. Near a purple tree under the ocean sunlit dune. The dune under the ocean is like a sand dune under the ocean. Never too soon, trapped in a golden spoon. Flowers bloom in the idiot's doom. Flowers bloom in the idiot's doom, Flowers bloom in the idiot's doom. Moons are flying around in my room like the moons are flying around in the car, Causing gloom as I sleep in my tomb. That was another poem I was thinking of. Maybe moons flying around in my car, bugging the heck out of me, trying to see what goes on while moons are flying in my car, or 1,000 moons, a belt full of moons, or garbage can, a moon leaning on a garbage can. That was something I thought of in the 70s, a painting. I told my brother about it, and he thought I could. Sorry about this nose picking, man. What is this nose picking? I described that in another poem. As I sleep in my tomb, causing gloom as I sleep in my tomb. Doesn't look good when you pick your nose on the air. Goodbye, good luck. Let me see if I can read something else. No, I'm gonna turn it off because it's got to be a separate thing, man. It's got to be two separate things. Goodbye. Goodbye. Close down. Cancel. Copy and stream. Hope I did that well. I know it took a long time, but it takes time to rhyme. I wrote that in a poem. And are you sure you want to end stream? And yes, I'm sure.